Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Divide by Sheep. Last recording went awry somewhat and we didn't really accomplish as many new puzzles as I'd like to, so I want to try and correct that. Here we have some interesting questions that need to be asked. You have these cursed, I guess they aren't technically pentagrams, they're triangles, platforms. So the question I would like to know is, does this get destroyed? I guess the answer is no. The fire totem does not get destroyed by fire. Which that probably is a no-duh. Let's see if this is one of those simplistic puzzles where it was almost certainly going to work. Not quite. So my guess here is probably something along the lines of get rid of everything on the cursed platforms first. And then maybe set things up this way. So that's gonna get 3. That'll get 2. There we go. And here we have yet another block being introduced extremely late in the game. Seems to be either an ice block or a hover block. Maybe it's indicating that you can only stand on a platform for so long. It does seem kind of unnecessary to introduce a new platform, and definitely seems like it's just somewhat wasteful. So we need a 6 to go through first. We need a 4 to go through, and we need a 1. I don't see how you could possibly break up 2 groups of 6 into one group of 4, one group of 6, and one group of 1. So let's see what this does. It teleports you. So anything that lands on the platform gets teleported back. Interesting. Is it a 100% teleportation? No. Yeah. I assume the math stays the same here. So what's going to happen is 4 will always first land on the solid red platforms, which we've really not seen any other varieties of platforms. We haven't seen it where one block is like on fire and one block is a wolf catcher. That would be very complicated, certainly if it worked that way, but it also seems like that is the direction the game would want you to go. So if we do that, that just kills the sheep. Let's get 2 stars to start with. Then we'll start over. Seems like the only way you could separate something into a 1 would be to do that first. Then you can use that. Then you can do that. So yeah, only 4 platforms, 2 of which started filled, limit you quite a bit as far as what you actually could do. The next question, I guess, to ask is just how are we going to get separated back? And how do we want to do some division? Because this is really the first time we are actually dividing by 2 on the whole group versus the lasers, which was taking each individual sheep and cutting them in half into a fraction, which I guess would be the difference of saying if you had 1/2 plus 1/2 versus 2 divided by 4. They equal out and reduce and simplify to the same outcome, but practically sometimes you just aren't supposed to simplify. And that's one of those mathematical things I think people don't get or don't understand, is that sometimes you just don't simplify, particularly if you're trying to show the relationship of real world objects and how they work. Like it just doesn't make sense to simplify the ratios or the fractions. And sometimes you can't cut things in half. So if you're talking nails, you can't reduce your, if you're selling nails 1 by 1 for say a nickel, well, you can't cut a nail in half and sell it for 2.5 cents for 2 reasons. People don't have half pennies, and also nobody wants to buy half a nail. Right, so I'm supposed to be doing the math here. 5. I think it's probably just easier to do this. And then that'll tell us where we're really set on this. So 3. And then we're gonna have to probably get 4. So you probably just want to divide and split as much as possible. You're getting a weird magical element to this world where the rest of the world isn't really that magical. It's fantastical having sheep and death in it, but the actual gameplay isn't that magical. We're gonna leave 1 sheep behind in the middle. So we should probably just add up the total numbers here. We need 14. We have 7 here, plus 7 here is 14, so we can only lose 2. Which probably does just mean something like this. You go here, and that gets you 6. And then we would need to get 4 some other way, but it's not really that hard to do that. I guess the question may just come down to 3s. Well, let's at least get 2 stars. I'm glad you don't have to finish these whole levels. Okay. If I was to throw this one in this direction, then you'd always have 4. So it would always go 5, then potentially being reduced to 4, which wouldn't be that big of a deal. If I was to go in this direction, then this would just be something that would reduce this down to 5. So let's just do that. Let's experiment. Let's see how that goes. You don't need to kill anything, so next step would be to do that. Yeah, there's just no way you'd get the right numbers doing it that way. So it's either you do something like this, or you maybe throw a 7 on it. And it probably doesn't matter from either direction which way you would throw a 7 on it. Yeah, that's not going to get me the right number. I need to split it differently. So it's got to be you throw a 7 on it. And then we've got a 3 here that we'd like to preserve, but I don't think we can preserve. So that's 5. And so now we have a 3 and a 4. Maybe that's premature to have done that. Maybe I should have just taken the 2. Or maybe not. We have a 3 here. The 2 should have been, yeah, the 2 should have been out of the way. That, take that, take that. It feels like this is actually a rather simple puzzle, and yet somehow I'm finding a way to struggle with it. There's 3. There's 4. And see, that definitely is my concern about a lot of the puzzles that I haven't easily just breezed through, is that it might be that they all are actually rather simple, and you just have to kind of shift how you think a lot more than I'm used to. Well, we can eliminate some possibilities, like this would be dumb. It wouldn't do anything. This here can go there, this here can go here. This onto that would be dumb, so it's not that, and it's not that. It might be this. Now, that would get me to 5, or I could throw these here. Let's see, is there a way we could save 2 more wolves? No. I don't think so. So you could do this, and that gets you to 5. I thought those guys were already fed. Whoops. Doing that much won't do anything for us. Doing that much won't do anything for us. Doing that much will give us a 3. If we had all the wolves at the spot at that point, then I guess we would have 5 wolves. So this is probably the first move. Let's just move everything around, I guess. Okay, that gets us to 2 now. Which if I add 2 to this group, it would just kill these 2. If I add 2 to this group, it makes a 5, which doesn't really accomplish much at the moment. If I throw this over here, well, if I throw this over here, it probably wouldn't help any. Okay. So if I eat 2 of this, then we'll be at 4. Right? We would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 wolves. Yeah, if we're gonna get to 5, we basically have to feed 3, either in this spot or in that spot. And let's see what happens now. If we can toss that. Well, we have exactly 6 spots here, and we can move things around. So we can get the first star, and then we probably should just move on from there. And then we have a 5 spot here, which we can't do. So if there was 5 here, I still don't think that would make sense. At least get 2 stars there. Okay. So what we would want to do is throw a 4 in this spot. I don't think that's really gonna work. Okay. How can we then take this 6 wolf and turn it into 5? Just doesn't seem doable. This 6 would I guess maybe if we did that, that leaves us with 4 instead of 5. But it does let us get to that. Yep. And then you're just 1 short. And that's where I have to surrender. It definitely was my concern that once we get to these last couple of rows of puzzles, I would spend 10-20 minutes on them. And that definitely feels like that is what's going on. Plus I'm spending a lot of time going back and trying to fill in the gaps with a decent amount of success. But when we go back to a different world and do a different puzzle, you're seeing fairly different elements. It's not really working out in the way you'd like it to. Okay. So we need, I'm fairly certain the only way this works is you either feed that one there, and that's pretty much it. I could move the wolves and put 2 wolves here, but I think you need this platform. You probably need it in that form factor. And then this, if I bounce back, will kill the 5 characters where this would kill 4 characters. That gives me more halves. But yeah, there's no way to kill specifically 2 characters there. You're 1 short. Then that just overfeeds you. Yeah, I definitely remember this puzzle, and I feel like there's almost no way you could be wrong about it. The only thought maybe would be that maybe you're supposed to not kill this sheep early. But I kind of don't buy that. This should give me exactly 3 sheep. And we have 4 sheep here. So then there needs to be some way to split it up more. If I did this, this would kill too many. The only way to get the first star is to do that. Okay. 4 plus another 2 would be 6, plus another 2 would be 8. I feel like if I split anything anymore, we need all 4 of these to make it to this spot, and it just can't make it to that spot. There's no way. So is this just not really solvable? We can put the wolves to use as food. then you've got these 4 going here. I think the problem here is I'm just keep on thinking the same way over and over again, when what I probably need to do is see if halves would jump and feed it. Well, we just lost a half there, didn't we? Let's try some different math. 2 over here, split would get rid of 4. So like the smallest math here would be to do that. And that just seems like a way worse idea. And see, you do seem to always keep the half. Is there possibly some plan here to do something like that? No, that doesn't really work. And if you were to fling this, that wouldn't work. So almost certainly the answer is this. And then I would suspect the next move is that. This here. If we throw this way, it kills 5. What if we were to instead put the sheep over here, flip this, and then do that? That kills 4. And then this would kill 1, and then you'd be back to 4, and then this would be here, and you'd be back to 4. And are you literally in any different state at that point? Yeah, I question if you are in any different state. Then what? You feed 2 that way. You split these in half, maybe. And then feed 2 that way. You probably shouldn't have split those in half. Yeah. If that hadn't been split in half, then we'd be down to 2 at this point. And then we could do that. And then we could do that. And we could do that. Still isn't going to get us anywhere. The only thing I'm thinking here, is there a way to put maybe a 1/2 on the platform and make that make sense? Like if we immediately just killed ourselves that way. And that's 3. And we swap here. If we were to toss this here, that would kill 5. And so that would be way too many. If we were to toss this over here, that would kill 3. And then it would leave 1. Maybe that's the move. Okay. No, there's just no way you're gonna end up with a half. So the math is even worse on that idea. Maybe there's a thought here. Is there any possible way? See, I'm clearly just trapped in this way of thinking, and honestly, I think I am just gonna have to go through like a walkthrough to solve this, because yeah, there's just no way around thinking that what I'm doing is right, and it's just constantly not working out. Unless there was some like complicated system here in which we're supposed to send like that in that direction, and then that in that direction. But this isn't going to work either. But I literally just cannot pinpoint where the next step is, or what the next step would be. If we flung this way, then we could kill everything. You kind of have to kill everything by doing that. And then we would need 4 sheep at this point. There's just no way. just no way we're gonna maintain 4 sheep. You can get 4 sheep here, and then you've got to move it around somehow. Four sheep here. Okay. And then if we were to bounce this, that kills our 4 sheep. If we were to do this and then do that, that gets us past the first part of the challenge. And then the next part of the challenge is probably to throw 4 sheep in here and get some free space. And then probably move this around this way. We can knock out 2. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like there's room. Like, feels like there needs to be another platform somewhere. Or another swap here. There really aren't even any options. If you throw those there, and then swap that around, and then do that, and then do that, you've combined your 4 sheep together. I give up. Although, weirdly, I just got an achievement. Which, I don't know why I would have gotten an achievement. It says, beat the spring world. I could swear I have already beaten the spring world. So now I have a slight concern that of the 12 out of 19 achievements I've gotten, maybe there's 2 or 3 of them I should have already gotten. Either that, or I never have actually beaten that level and exited the level. I may have just given up the previous time. Regardless, we're increasingly taking longer and longer to do these episodes. We are making decent progress, so we will get to the end of this. But then we're still at 79 stars out of Ice World, so unless I start going back to Ice World, which I'll start doing next episode, and just blaze through the remaining 11 stars, and pretty much do the same for the remaining 11 in Dark World, there is not a lot of hope that I would legitimately try and solve these puzzles. I might just use a walkthrough off screen after I'm done covering this game for achievement reasons, but at a certain point then, if I'm cheating to get achievements, am I really deserving of those achievements? Obviously, the answer is no. So, I'm not sure there's a point at all. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.